Image editing software. Use what you're familiar and comfortable with, as long as it can work with ICC colour management. Your ink and paper supplier can provide you with custom printer profiles to make your printer accurate with true photographic tone, smooth graduations with incredible shadow detail, but not if you insist on using image editing software that does not accept ICC colour management. Adobe Photoshop, Lightroom, even low-cost Adobe Photoshop Elements readily works with ICC colour management. If your current software does not, change now. Now, Inkjet printer choices. Now, be prepared to change your existing pigment inkjet printer if it's older than, say, 3 years and it's losing its reliability and print consistency. If you're using a dye-based printer, change it for a pigment printer. You will not be able to produce decent black and white prints, and print longevity is not as good. If, on the other hand, you have an old but perfectly reliable and consistent pigment inkjet printer, stick with it until it's demonstrated that there is a good reason to change, such as larger cartridge capacity for cheaper printing or higher printing resolution for improved detail and tone. Now, my personal favourite printers at the moment for up to A3, A3 Plus, which is 13 by 19 or 11 by 17 inches, would be the Surecolor P600 from Epson. Now, in the Epson range up to A2, which would be 17 by 22 inches, would be, my choice would be the Epson Surecolor P800. Now, in the Canon range, up to A3, which is 11 by 17, and they go to A3 Plus as well, which is 13 by 19. My favourite at the moment would be the Canon Pixma Pro 1, that's the Pixma Pro 1, and in the Canon range, for printing up to A2, I think I'd go for the Canon Pro 1000, which would take you to A2, which is 17 by 22, and the official title of this is the Image Prograph Pro 1000. Now, personally, at the moment, I favour Epson pigment printers if you anticipate printing higher weekly volumes, say over 6 A4, which is 11 by 8.5 in US, about 6 of these per week, as good quality, lower cost Pro Photo bulk inks, such as Marrott, are available for these printers, and the savings are considerable. You'll be saving around. You'll be printing at about 1/5 of the price with an A3 printer, and easily over. You'd go down to 1/3 of the printing price if you're using an A2 printer. Now, the Canon printers suggested here are excellent, but I know of no lower cost quality alternatives to the genuine Canon inks for these printers at the present time, which makes high volume printing more expensive. The same advice extends to current HP, Brother, Lexmark and other printer brands at the present time. When in doubt, stick with the OEM brand inks for reliable high-end photo printing outside of Epson brand printers. And if you go for the Epson brand printers, you've got choices for higher volume printing.